Mic check 1 2 baby. Blue face baby. Okay.
All right, our audio is live.
Hello fans. All right.
This is gonna be the first podcast we start on time.
Say again.
This is gonna be the first one we start on time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Tim, we may or may not have auto-tune capabilities for our vocals. So I'm setting the key to E major, by the way, in case auto-tune makes its becomes a part of this.
Sick.
So just in case,
So
we want to
if you want to start
harmonize
singing,
the
you want me to
auto-tune.
move to E. Cool.
That's
you
the
got it.
vibe.
I'll do that.
If that's
Ooh.
not weird.
Can you make it E Lydian?
Ooh, yeah.
Yes. Or you could set it to, what would that be? B major? Yeah. That would work either way.
Cool. I get a little bit of a kick out of setting my auto-tune to E Lydian.
That's sick. That'd be really fun.
All right. Tim, will you give us a mic check? Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Mic check. Hello. Yeah. Should I talk
Hello.
closer in
Hello.
general, or should I
Can we
flip it
move?
closer?
Yeah. Let's if it's possible.
You don't have any pedals by any chance, do you? Like
Let me give you the
straight up
same pedal.
MIDI
I
pedal?
have
Yeah.
one. I don't need as much as you. Yeah, I don't need.
Oh, that'd be great. You know what? I might even have one in my bag. But
That's funny.
let me check. No, you know what? I don't. I use it today.
This one should work.
I'm not even lowering the right one. This one.
Alright.
You got that right there. There you go. That should be a little better. These are nice sounding mics, by the way.
Yeah, we just came up on the lights real quick.
We did, right? They come up on the mics. I'm scared to talk about it too much. What?
Pen.
Should be over there in the tray. Oh, it's up in my room. In my drawer.
Is that a vape pen?
Yeah, it's a big pen.
I'll want it after.
Oh yeah. Yo, 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 yo. So beautiful. You got it. should be said. Sometimes it's janky right when you plug it in. Oh wow. Pass that to Tim. Pass that to Tim. Alright. I mean, it feels like the audio is kind of set up.
Cool. Can I get this louder?
Just your kick drum?
Yeah, everything else is my.
There it is. It was plugged in.
Than
There we go. Now we're grooving.
kick. And also, is my auto-tune toggle on that thing?
Do what?
Auto-tune toggle.
Let me. Oh, on pad 8. I haven't done that yet, so let's do it.
Yeah, this pedal's kind of janky.
No, it should work if you like.
It's like popping in and out.
Oh, is it like?
And I switched the polarity, but the polarity's correct as it is. Like sometimes it gets it.
Yeah.
Oh, is it going?
I've told you it really does have this weird like 2 minutes of not working and then it works. Cause when I leave it all plugged in, it typically works.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't.
Play something else.
So beautiful. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good over here.
Are we ready for this? Oh. Are we ready for this?
I think so.
Alright,
Yeah.
then hit your pad. Okay, you got it.
It's my sick hymn for the night.
Ooh.
Alright, soft 5.
So Tim, for whatever reason, though I can't program those MIDI buttons
Don't worry about
to
it.
be your auto-tune toggle. So
Don't worry about it.
I
Probably
have
better because I've never actually tried doing that.
Oh my God, here, give it a shot because it's
Wait,
hilarious,
auto-tuning?
dude.
So if I sing along, will it?
It'll
do something?
work.
Sing along.
Sing along, sing along.
Ba-do-do-do-do. Whoa!
Yeah.
But it's auto-tuning to the key, or is it doing based on my MIDI input? How's that
It's
working?
auto-tuning to E Lydian.
E. So we're doing E. All right, we're there.
E Lydian. Or if we want to play a major song, we got B.
Cool. And then I can totally. We can still go. Nice. What happens if I do this? Ba-ba-do. Ba-da-do. That's both cool. And you're probably doing like 50-50 right now or something?
For what?
Dry wet.
Oh no, it should be 100%
Really?
right. It should be.
Hello, wet.
I keep my auto-tune like my bitches.
Super
Damn.
wet.
That's disgusting. How did you say that?
That's not.
That's fucked up, dude. That's unmusicianly of you. Okay.
Okay, but I know a way we can make it chill. Is on Netflix. Chow, Mr. Chow, the guy from Hangover. He just released his stand-up, and
What's that like?
it's
I
pretty
feel like
funny.
that could go one of two ways.
Yeah, I was also thinking the same thing. It went mostly funny, you know. It definitely was his, you know.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I'm an entertainer now, you know. Like gave up on the whole doctor career. But the funny thing is his wife's last name is Ho, so he like, you know, did a whole shtick of like, get in the car, Ho, get in the.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so he found a socially acceptable way to call someone Ho. It's because their name is actually Ho.
Yeah.
Was the reference to this
Way.
section right
Yeah.
here.
He could spend more time thinking on that one.
Yeah. I'm not sure how
he could come up with something
acceptable.
better.
I'll let him know.
Okay. I'm starting to feel
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Fire.
Actually on time. Hell yeah. You got scenes in there?
Oh, too many scenes.
Oh my god.
What the hell? Never done anything like this, so
Oh, dude.
I'm a live stream podcast virgin.
Neither have I. So.
That's good.
You got backup? You got like our beats on back?
Yeah, let me pull them up. We also, I'm also gonna pull up the thing, so it's definitely like legit, right? I can see that the video at least is.
Oh
legit.
yeah, pull up that, and then also pull up his album.
Oh, sick. You have that somewhere?
Let me text you also the pictures of these.
Yes.
Yes. Someday.
Yeah, actually, today's the first day that the album's finally up on all the streaming sites.
It was
It was supposed to be the 17th, and CD Baby kind of messed things up here and there.
CD Baby.
It got through. So.
Baby, why you doing me like that?
Baby.
Baby. We've all got a city baby.
City Baby.
I have the same one. I'm good.
So Ben, I'm gonna text these to you. Is that good?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. I accidentally sent you one that was like a weird. There's the wrong angle. I should edit it on my phone. That'll be easier. Alright, you got it, Ben? Just about?
Yes.
Hold on, I'm gonna send you the one that's the correct way. It's just like that's such a popular rhythm. It's like.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's called the People's Rhythm.
Is that called the People's Rhythm?
Someone joked about that. In
The People's Rhythm.
It's a
That's
real
like
thing,
yeah, like
but
we'll be
C
like
is the People's Key, you know.
Exactly.
The People's Keys, right? You're thinking of
It's like it's just like
I
a
forget.
common groove, honestly. It reminds me though of like Miles Davis or like Dave Brubeck or something almost. Like I know there's a famous track that just starts.
Probably.
I'm sure probably there's 100.
Yeah. Nice. Where is that appearing? I'm gonna pull one up and do that as well. Wherever that ends up being.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not 100% sure.
I think that nailed it actually.
Should be perfect. All right, you want to grab that? All right, I think we're already here on this side.
Give me half a second.
Do the real ones have magnets in them like that? This is a real one, I guess. Huh.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
sure.
no different than a. It's probably smaller. Where'd you get this?
We lucked out actually.
My friend works production on films and has one.
Really? So it is a real one. It's
Yeah.
a real one. It's been there. That's
I think
dope.
this has been on set. This is on set.
That's so cool. Probably shouldn't do it right in the mic. It's probably too high. That's really high. I'll stop doing that.
Should we post on our Instagram? Like,
Yep.
did you already do it?
Nope.
Boop, 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 doop.
Boop, 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 boop. I can't have it in the wrong key. Do, 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 do. All right, once we get started, I'm gonna pull it up, just to double check that everything is working. Okay.
All right.
I think we are on the good to go side.
Then let's
Good to go side of things.
get it started.
Let's give the people what they want.
What they're here for. Welcome, students, to office hours.
Nice. Get it? Yeah.
Woo!
Woo!
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We are super, super psyched to have on our show today the wonderful Tim, a.k.a. Gestalt.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. So stoked.
Sick. Gestalt. Someone correct me.
I won't.
So we like to start off the podcast with like a fun little game.
Okay.
It's called You and Two, and we'd prefer if you answered with 1 or 2 word answers.
Okay.
What's your name?
Tim.
What's your Instagram?
Music by Gestalt.
Ooh. Age?
28.
Where are you from?
Orange County.
Favorite genre of music?
Damn. There's so many
It's
directions.
a tricky one.
I can't pick one.
These are questions that definitely shouldn't be asked in this format, but we do it anyway for the people.
Okay.
On the
I'm
spot.
oh, damn. Okay. I think I listen mostly to. I don't even know what to call it. It's 2 words. Damn it.
Okay.
That place where like Hiatus Coyote and Tank and
Like
the Bangles
neo
lives.
soul?
Yeah, I guess
New-
it's sort of like progressive jazz meets
Yeah.
soul, and yeah,
Yeah.
they do their own thing. 2 words. That was them.
Progressive.
Cool. Cool. Got
Yeah,
it. Got it. Favorite female artist?
Probably Hiatus Coyote there.
Yeah.
she kills it.
Napalm. She's
Mhm.
so cool. Favorite music producer? Do you have one?
No, I don't have one.
Okay. Favorite. I'm gonna change that one. Favorite piano player?
To pick one, probably Brad Meldau.
Fuck yeah. Favorite composer?
Yeah, I don't have an answer. I really don't. That one I could kind of go a lot of different directions.
It's
I
a
kind of
tricky
start
one.
leaning towards the tenny and like the minimalist vibe.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get back into I love Debussy. I do some pieces based on his stuff. So it kind
Beautiful.
of goes all over the
Beautiful
map.
stuff. Yeah. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
There's freedom and limitation.
Ooh, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Describe yourself as a musician in 3 words.
Math, jazz, classical.
Ooh. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Milk chocolate.
Spirit animal.
Horse.
Cool.
That's not what I expected to come out. I meant to say dog.
that means it's true.
Yeah.
I think the inner horse was just
I
like
guess
horse.
took over there, yeah.
Buck wild.
So this question I want to differentiate into 2 things. So
Uh.
it's 2 separate questions presented at the same time. One is if you could have any superpower, what superpower would you want? And the other question is, what superpower do you already almost have?
Ooh.
Like you're like, you know what? If I was, you know, I'd be like narcissism man or something like that. So what would be yours?
I'd be super giving, man. so-
Super giving man. Great in bed man.
Yeah, superpower I would want. Time travel.
Hmm.
Even if it's only in like a span of like
Forward,
within a
backward.
week. No, if I could only like go back a week and forth a week, there's a lot you could do there.
Yeah.
Big time.
Or maybe I augment that to time control so I could pause it and then continue to work on things without losing time.
Dude, that's the ultimate
time is everything.
musician's
Yeah.
answer is like,
Okay.
oh, time control so I could pause it so I could work more hours.
That would be good. And the power I have, I am a chatty person. I talk a lot, and I kind of don't stop talking
Yeah.
a lot of times. So, yeah, I'll give myself that one.
Yeah. That's definitely,
lot.
yeah, that's a good one.
Welcome to the crew.
Do you know your star sign?
Yeah.
Your zodiac?
I am a Sagittarius, right? December?
I don't know well
I'm
enough.
pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, okay, cool. Hey, welcome to the show.
Woo. Wow.
Good job. You survived the
Got through
rapid
it.
fire round.
All right.
So how you been?
So how I been?
Mm-hmm.
Been good. Been really busy. Work situation has changed significantly. We're basically within these next few months, I am totally doing the grind and committing to music.
Yeah.
I had my last job, basically.
Big shouts out to that.
Yeah,
real
hey.
quick.
Yeah, they.
We love that stuff.
I
here.
had a job teaching, and I was also like offered a position at a university to teach there.
Whoa.
But one thing came to the
That's
other, and I
cool.
wasn't able to do them.
Teaching music.
Yeah, I would have been teaching like intro level music theory 101 kind of stuff at a university,
Yeah.
which is cool. It was kind of my dream job, but given the timing with some of the other film projects we're working on and this sort of moment for Gestalt and the album release and etc.,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do justice for all of those things.
Yeah.
And so I kind of had to say no to that one temporarily. And I kind of was like the book, like that job will come back eventually
Yeah.
as long as I keep doing what I'm doing
Yeah.
and making more material.
Exactly. You're only gonna get
Right.
better at that job.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
so
that's a bit of the end game job as a musician, kind of,
Totally,
right?
yeah.
Is like you sort of go like, well, I've still got all this, whatever. I still
Yeah.
have some energy.
Exactly.
I
And
want to
it's like-
make a bunch of shit.
For that small sense of like leaving out the pupil from this whole journey, it's like you'll get back to them. You know,
yeah,
the
totally.
student will learn.
Yeah, that'll be
Mhm.
fine. And so, yeah, got it. So that job didn't happen. And then the current job was like, hey, Tim, I think you really should use this time to invest in your craft, if you will. And
Yeah.
because you were offered that, I think you're better off. Here, take your pay for February
Mm-hmm.
and don't work February. And
Wow.
then, use that time to apply for other stuff. So it's kind of like a what's it called when you get fired? Severance plan, except there was an option because she also said, if you want to stay on this job,
Yeah.
you can.
Oh wow.
Right? But I
Yeah.
really think that you can be committing to your music more. And do
That's
that.
like a
So that
cool
was kind of what that
employer.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really a gift. And it was kind of also a good kick in the pants to be like, now I'm going to do this thing.
Yeah.
And it's make or break it kind of deal.
Yeah,
So
like people are looking out for me here. You know, I can't do this for myself anymore. It's like I gotta go do it for the community.
yeah, you got to commit to it. And then you just find like, it's sort of that snowball effect,
Mm-hmm.
And now that a few other things have come into play, like, just a couple other small film gigs and little
Yeah.
things like that. I'm like, there's no way I could have been doing all these things while still doing that job.
Yeah.
But I'm also
definitely.
a climbing coach. Fun
Mhm.
fact.
Oh.
I'm a climbing instructor
at
part time.
because that's actually where we met you is
Yeah.
at shout out Touchstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was awesome, and they did like a cool art show, which also was your album release.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That's the one.
Very
this
cool.
thing.
Very cool.
It's got some
Here you go, Ben.
inner workings there.
Exactly, you guys.
Actually-
So check this out. This is some sick album artwork. Where did we get this from?
Oh, Vivian Naranjo Martin,
Oh,
who also, so the three of us in that band, we went to Cal Arts. That's how we all met. We're all done with that now. Got
Yeah.
our masters there. But Vivian is also finishing up her masters there, I think.
beautiful.
And so she was able to help out with that. Actually, fun fact. So we'll get into that later, but the music is all cyclical, if you will. Imagine
Yeah.
a rhythmic cell that repeats,
Mm-hmm.
literally a cycle, if you will.
Yeah.
And I never talked to her about that. And I was holding the album at one point, and I was like, music, and I turned it and said, bye.
Oh
Gestalt,
wow!
like,
Look
whoa,
at that.
right?
I love that.
And check it out. Like, even the artwork theme here, I don't know if you can see it on there, but you have these, like, endless, what are those called? Like,
Fractal, like sort
they're
of.
optical illusions, where
Yeah.
it doesn't end. And so, and then you look inside, and then in order to read.
rhomboid or something.
Yeah,
something
maybe.
of that,
or-
like-
but then in order to read
Rhomboid.
these, you actually have to physically turn the album to read these things.
I know.
all
Did
the
she?
writing?
Did she literally think of that?
She did that on purpose, I'm sure of it.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
she's that deep. She's an incredibly gifted person. Anyhow.
I listen to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, that one's pretty
fire. That one's fire.
Shouts out patrons like that.
Yeah, so the patrons, we have a Patreon where people can contribute monthly. like $5 or $1. Some do
Yeah.
10, whatever.
Awesome.
And so we put their names on the album, so
Do
they
get,
can be
certain
proud that they're
perks or
supporting that.
anything from
Yeah, there's a few. Like they'll get the album a little ahead of time. Actually, at like the $50 level, which there are 2 people who do that.
Wow.
We'll write them a piece and record it for them and all that. But like honestly,
That's
it even says
awesome.
on the Patreon like you're here to support art.
So if someone pays you $50, is that an open offer that you'll write them a piece?
It's that they send a story,
Okay.
and we will write music that is painting that story. Whatever story you want, could be true, could be a story about pirates that you make up,
Yeah.
and then we record it professionally and get it done and sent out to you.
That's
That's actually sort of the
fire.
plan for our third album, is that all the patrons, and we'll do it publicly as well, but the patrons get a guaranteed spot,
Yeah.
give us a story, and we're going to do a whole album of stories that they submit.
Wow.
And
then
it's all
okay,
instrumental.
okay.
Hopefully include them in the liner notes. That would be
Oh,
fire.
of course. Oh, yeah. It'd be like a little booklet or something. I don't
That's
know.
cool. That's
But,
very
so-
cool.
so
The,
you
the whole
get-
the whole Gestalt.
I'm so
Yeah.
interested. So the process. How would you translate these stories into music? What, like this pirate story? Okay, right. So
I would probably, if it were a pirate story, I would assume no.
like
I
a
would.
one-page essay. That's kind of what you're hoping to get. Like a
Yeah, shorter stories ish,
Yeah.
and I would,
What
give
if we did this, you
characters-
guys? What if Ben
We made a story.
improvised a story and
That could be cool.
give them a little taste of what they if they
So I'm curious what your whole process, what you're in
I
your
would,
mind.
I would
you're going through.
attach different gestures to characters in the story,
Okay.
probably,
Yeah.
right? So maybe if there's a pirate, it might be like that.
Yeah.
And then there's another character who kind of comes into play, and this is like a really pretty, like,
Yeah.
And so you could kind of hear that conversation later. Whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And then we'd probably orchestrate that per 2 different aspects of it. We do it per instrument, but also per range. So let's say if I'm
Yeah.
playing something up here, that's going to be a whole different character than this one,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And so that's kind of the thing that we would take to orchestrating that,
Yeah.
writing it out. And there'd obviously it'd be wonky and fun, obviously, and we wouldn't take it
Yeah.
too seriously.
It's interesting because when you first asked that question, I was like, obviously it's just feeling Ben. Like he's just gonna read the story and then make the piece. Like duh. And then
Nah.
that's just not the case at all. Like it's a direct symbolic translation. Like you're like the symbol of this character gets this musical range, and it's just literally you could have a
So,
like
yeah,
a
how do you,
key.
like the emotional or like the mood. Like, are you choosing like how are you
Per the
representing that?
story?
Yeah, per the story.
I think, I guess it depends on the story, right? Like if it were a pirate story, there's probably not a lot of like deep emotional context.
Little
you know?
more grand
Right.
gesture,
Yeah.
action, animation.
But that being said, and that being said, that brings up an interesting thing about the film stuff we've been doing.
You obviously
Um,
haven't heard my pirate story yet.
yeah. But
Ripping.
like for others, like there's a film we're doing called Now and Again. It's our first 90-minute film. We're really stoked about it. And it's
Yeah.
an incredibly powerful thing. It's about Alzheimer's. And
Snaps.
basically
wow.
this family, he documented their family like watching and experiencing their grandfather having Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Right. And there's also more to it. And he goes on this bike ride, which is sort of a way of remembering him because his grandfather used to go on that bike ride like 50 years earlier.
Yeah.
And so you see like old photographs and then he takes them down and you see the actual bridge or whatever.
Yeah.
And so
wow.
these grandsons are like, now I get to know my grandfather who I can't really get to know,
Yeah.
because he's pretty much gone.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that's a really powerful thing. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to play this shit over that. Like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Can I say shit? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
100%.
Of course.
All
Yeah.
right,
We're on the internet.
We're on the internet.
Yeah. So for that one, actually, he originally just told me about his film, kind of like I just did now, but in a way that was not like, hey, I want you to do my music.
Yeah, he just told
He
you
was just a
about it.
director talking about his project that he's excited about.
Yeah.
And then, being the person who like, I got to find a gig.
Yeah.
I wrote this later. It's called Music for a Documentary about a bike ride. Catchy title.
Fire.
And it's literally one chord the entire time,
Damn.
right?
Yeah.
And then it's got one melody for the entire chart. And
So
probably without
still.
question, it's our best piece, right?
Okay, wow.
And we wrote that without seeing any of the... Oh, thanks.
This is cool. I love that idea.
We wrote it without seeing any of the footage.
Yeah.
It was just him talking.
Mhm.
And then we recorded it and we sent it to him. And I was just like, hey, try this behind your scenes. Just
Drop
I
it.
bet it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And he loved it. And then now we have the film gig.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a cool way to get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's also a really cool way too because it caught him really early in the editing process. And so right now, like literally right now, we're sending back and forth. He's giving me descriptions rather than footage.
Oh.
And then I'm sending him tracks, and then he's editing with the music more
to get the
central
timing.
yeah, rather than typically it's, the editing, and then
Yeah.
they send you a thing and say, hey, make the music work for this, and
Yeah.
here's a temp track too. So you got to sound something like that, which is also super hard to do.
So
and
he's like intrinsically includes you in the artistic process.
yeah,
of the editing.
and he's like the
Great.
best person to work with ever because he's also like, hey, what do you think of this edit?
Mhm.
Do you think this scene should go here? And I'm like, you're including me on that process,
wow.
like, and
That-
also welcomes
Filmmakers
him
always
to
talk
ours. And
about
it's cool.
editing being like the soul.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
core
I
of the-
actually had a really cool opportunity. I went to a basically an open panel discussion with a sound designer who did A Quiet Place.
Ooh.
And it was really interesting, and he was talking about how it's the only movie he's ever worked on where like they literally had the editor's number. The editor would call him, be like, I'm sending something over, tell me what you think, like what, like da da da, and like because sound was such a big
Everything, yeah.
part of that film that they ended up just using his sense of rhythm and stuff to their advantage when it came to the editing, and I thought that was cool, and he thought that was cool. Yeah,
That's fire.
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Super dry.
Because it's so rare for the sound people, the music people, to be at all like, I don't want to say in the higher side of
Yeah.
the editing process, but like be up there where they actually have an input.
But they should be
know,
because like composition is so
It's important to it, and a lot of directors feel that. And
they're shaking the
they're
same
there,
hand for sure.
and some don't.
Mhm.
But honestly, as a musician,
There Will Be
you
Blood
just-
is like one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, yeah. And as a musician,
Soundtracks.
you just gotta like take what you can get. You know what I mean? It's that. It's
Yeah.
like whatever it is. All right, you got it. And temp tracks are cool to work with too. It's just a different experience, and they're both just two different challenges, kind of deal. That work out differently per person.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like?
Ben, I got a quick technical thing. It appears as though the video's been set to private for whatever reason. So let's try to fix that.
Ooh, Piano Man. I like it.
Let's see. The stream link I sent you, it also says waiting for the boys. It's a different stream link.
So it doesn't show that we're live.
It shows that we're live, but it
Under privacy.
it says
private.
it says private.
You scrolled past it.
Where do you see it?
Move your arrow to the left.
Privacy private.
There you go.
Okay.
That should be it, right?
All right, let's see about that. Just want to do a little check. Okay, it looks like it is.
Sound good?
It's live. I think we're good. Yeah, that's that. I mean, like one thing music can do really well is serious. Like, and so for a film like that one about the Alzheimer's, where like, it sort of has this like really heavy nature to it. Like, imagine that film without music. It's just so different, You need the emotional depth that the music gives you. How are we doing, Ben? Are you looking at me like we're good?
I think we're good.
All right, it's not attached to the link that we gave out.
Oh, there's someone watching. Hello.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
That's good.
So what's up, Car?
The link that we gave out says waiting for the boys, so it's not attached to the link.
Okay. Well, I can't change the server without stopping the stream.
Okay. Should we conclude part 1 and start part 2?
I mean, I guess so.
All right. Thank you guys.